Alright guys, it's time to compare all 3 LEGO modular buildings side by side by each other. Starting with the Daily Bugle, Sanctum Sanctorum, and Avengers Tower. We're going to be pairing these all together, seeing which one's the best, although it's pretty obvious that some of these are on different ballparks depending on where you look. I mean, the Avengers Tower has a lot of figures, Sanctum Sanctorum doesn't really have a whole lot. But yeah, they're going to be pairing all these 3 LEGO modular buildings, and hey, if I do it well enough, depends if I can speak, I'll even do a little mini comparison between the Quinjets that we got earlier this year. So let's see how well this goes down. We'll be comparing everything from the builds to the minifigures and everything in between, side builds as well. And let's get into it, shall we? Starting off, we have the figures, and you do get quite a lot of figures in each set. So I have them sorted out into different categories. For the Spider-Man one, we have the Sinister Six, obviously. You have the civilian-based characters, and the heroes and anti-heroes. I guess you'll see the Punisher and the Black Cat, but yeah, it's a pretty good figure selection for that set. Sanctum Sanctorum, kind of a disappointing figure selection, guys, tell you that. Coming off of the heels of the Daily Bugle, the Sanctum Sanctorum figure selection is lacking, in my personal opinion. You get some cool characters like, I guess, Sinister Strange and Zombie Strange and Moro, but really isn't that great of a figure selection. I mean, Anthony Ma, the version we got for the Infinity War wave is just way better, but then we have the Avengers Tower wave, which looks essentially amazing. Probably the best figure selection a LEGO modular building can ever hope to achieve. Essentially, you get a lot of cool looking figures like Vision, you get Wanda, you get Kevin Feige, the Hulk big fig, Wasp looks is a huge improvement, the Iron Man suit is cool. It's a great figure selection, so I feel like the Avengers Tower probably has the best figure selection. I don't know, it's between a toss-up between me and the Daily Bugle. Sanctum Sanctorum figure selection is probably the worst, just because it's kind of underwhelming. Coming off of the heels of the Daily Bugle. I get it's not a bad figure selection with the price, but I don't know, it's just coming off the heels of the Daily Bugle, it's just not that interesting. So, yeah, gotta say, I think Daily Bugle might win just because of the variety of characters. The Avengers Tower is a close second, I feel like, but I just love the variety and colorfulness of the, I don't know. I feel like these are both equally the same amount of quality, in my personal opinion. So, yeah. Let's compare the builds now and see how well those stack up. Okay, so before we get to the actual towers themselves, we should probably talk about the side builds that come along with them. We have the taxi build for the Daily Bugle. Not necessarily a bad side build. It's nice and it's good for the set. You also get a little stand for, like, Sandman can sit on, of course. That's probably a side build as well. You can just have it sitting on the outside like this. So, yeah. Taxi build is alright. It's pretty cool. You do get a little space where you can have 2 figures sit, of course, 2-seater taxi, essentially, is what we're working with for this build. But, for the Avengers Tower, Sanctum Sanctorum had no side build whatsoever, so that's kind of annoying. But the Avengers Tower, oh my god, they included a lot of side builds. You got the Quinjet, which we'll be comparing this to the bigger version, that came out earlier this year. To the Trolley Chariot, one can hold Loki, one cannot. And the Leviathan, which, yeah, there is technically another version of this, but I'm not going to compare that. That one's just puny, if you know what I mean. Puny god, puny. It's just not worth comparing it against that version that came out a couple years ago for Infinity War. So, yeah, but I gotta say, it looks pretty cool. Like I gotta say, it looks pretty cool, especially in the mouth area. Alright, time to compare each building. So let's start off with the Daily Bugle, I guess. So, probably wondering, how exactly do you access the interior of some of these buildings? Well, Daily Bugle has it so where you can pull out some of these wall panels. You might have to move these little wreckage pieces up, but you can't move the wall panels, and you get a good solid look into the interior where you can get a ton of Easter eggs and every way, the stretch of the imagination. You get a ton of references. And there are even some on the back screen, which I can't show you. Focus. Are you going to focus? There we go, finally. Okay, I don't know if I'm going to be... And unfortunately, the bottom floor is a little bit of a hard one to get to, because you can also, technically speaking, not only can you remove the wall panels, this one's a little bit of a trickier one, because this one's a little bit more reinforced in, but you can access, this is supposed to be Peter Parker's room, if you know what I mean. You have a little Peter Parker's room. Sorry if it's a little dusty, it's been a while since I cleaned this set up. I had it set on display for quite a while and it ended up getting a couple of dust, so I apologize in advance for that. We also have the main James Jonah Jameson area, of course. Then you have the roof, which you can't remove, because you can also technically remove each roof area, and you gotta be really careful. Hopefully this is not shadow in my hand, because this is not really much of a structurally sound build, but I gotta move some of my stuff outside. But we can access, and that's how you access from the bottom floor, but you can have a lot of versatility into accessing the interior of the set, obviously. Which is pretty cool. And as you can see down here, the little lobby area, you have the Mobius screen, of course, and you have a little bit of a waiting area. Obviously, there's also a back section to all these modules as well, the dumpster. And of course, since these are modular buildings at heart, they also include little holes so you can put it up to next to other buildings. The one thing you know about the Daily Bugle is that they did kind of mess up the whole placements. They can't mess up the whole placements. The whole placement. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little bit tired from the bending over, so apologize for that. I'm not exactly fit. But they did technically screw up their placement on the holes on the back side here. You also can move this wall area as well. Pretty neat. Yeah. Daily Bugle has a lot of features. You also have this little fire area where you can pose one of the figures. Firestar, I think, is her name. You can pose her on it, or maybe get a... Eventually, when we get a Human Torch figure, you might be able to put that there as well. If we ever do get a Human Torch figure, I guess is what you say. But yeah, you get a lot of playability with the Daily Bugle. One thing I wouldn't know about the Daily Bugle as well is that it's not exactly the most prettiest build. Like, you get a lot of little nods. Like, I guess it's supposed to be a boring building, but it's one I would recommend if you do get the set. You can play it with the figures, because honestly, it's not too great of a build on its own. I mean, it's not too bad. Like, you can tell what it is. It's just the lettering on the top, but it's a great big building. Not exactly the most exciting. So if you do get the set, I would recommend explaining with the figures. Now it's down to the thing of St. Tom. For the thing of St. Tom, it's more of the same essentially. You get doors up front. You can't only remove the panels off of the front panels on this, but you can remove the roof on these sets as well. You also do get some clear places in all these sets, of course. I just have them, so I happen to have them in the thing of St. Tom like this, so yeah, there's the inside of the area. But, probably don't want to move that back section because there are certain walls you can't move in places of other things. Like, as you can see, we have this little, like, portal monster you can pop out of the wall and put it in a certain area. So, right now I just can't have that sitting right here just because I wanted to display it. I just can't leave it like that, so yeah. But yeah, you can remove each of these wall panels similar to the Daily Bugle. Just remove the wall sections, and then you get access to the steel stairway. You can also move this if you want to get into the back area of the place. But yeah, that's the thing of St. Tom. Not really a whole lot of playability, but you do get a couple, like, you got the little Mind Stone, obviously. I meant the Time Stone. I'm a little tired right now, because I'm making this video right now, but here's the Time Stone, of course. You can move the portal and put something else there, like a wall or something if you want. There are all sorts of things you can do in the set. Not necessarily the best same level of displayability, but I do say this building does look a lot nicer and looks a lot more seamless. I forgot to put the stairways back on. That's bad on me, okay? But yeah, it does look a little bit better comparing it to this Daily Bugle. You can't display out the figures and it still looks pretty neat, but you get figures to display it, and it's not necessarily a bad look for modular building, but man, it is a triumph by the Avengers Tower. Let's just say that right now. Avengers Tower is a bit of a different beast, if you know what I mean. Unfortunately, you can't remove the floors individually because of how the set is built, because, you know, it would be a little bit of a trickier beast if you were able to remove the floors, unfortunately, so you can't really do that, but you can remove, luckily enough, the side panel. You can remove the side panel, put it off on like a table or something. Also move these little roof areas, of course, so you get access to the interior part of the build. Yeah, you get a lot of playability on this set as well. A lot of interesting details in the middle of the part of the set. You get a ton of interesting rooms, like have the, of course, the lobby area, the medical area, the Bridgewell Cap, the 2 cap spot, obviously, Iron Man's armory. You have the, of course, helicarrier, innocuous helicarrier cell area, but I guess technically the Avengers could have a cell area in their own Avengers Tower, I guess, technically speaking. A lounge / lining pad area. You also can move this little piece as well. This one's a little bit of a trickier one because of how strongly it's built. I just broke it. That's how strongly it's built. Like, it's a little bit of a trickier thing to remove, but you can remove it. So getting access to this interior right here with the Smashing Loki watermark, I guess is what you could say. And you also have the little scepter area right here. So not quite versatility. Amount of versatility you would like on the other modules, but it still looks pretty neat. And you do get a ton of areas to post figures. And this is definitely a set that looks good on display. Like, you definitely can't display this without the figures and it will still look pretty cool. You have a little bit of broken window as well. Kind of like with this one right here where it has like the Green Goblin shooting out of the Peter's room, I guess. That's pretty neat. So I do like the broken windows on these sets. And they're all easier to... If you don't want to display them with the broken windows, you can replace them if you do want to. But let's get on. Now it's time for what you guys are all waiting for. Let's combine all these sets together and see what we get. Alright, and here are all 3 buildings combined together. Combining all the power to create this, I guess is what you could say. Gotta say, I'm not a really big fan of building this little area right here. I mean, the scaffolding, it does fit. Via this connection, obviously it wouldn't fit the other way because landing pad, probably won't fit over there, so yeah. Same thing, Tom. It does look pretty neat. It does look cool displaying all of these modular buildings like this. The tower's kind of good, but I don't know about this building right here. Kind of looks a little awkward if you don't know, if you know what I mean, because this one kind of just abruptly ends, so yeah. But still looks pretty cool, combining all 3 of them like this. It does look pretty neat. Have like a little Marvel display right here. Does look pretty cool, but yeah. Now it's time to compare the Quinjets, I guess is what we could do. Alright, so now we're here at the final section of the comparison of all these sets. And then we're going to be comparing this little tiny Avengers Quinjet up against, well, do I even need to make this comparison? I guess we should. Here are the figures that you would have gotten if you pick up this set. You got Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Black Widow, Loki, and some extra stuff for them. That's okay, but we're not focusing on the figures right now because I think what you guys really care about is the build, so... And plus you also get all those figures in the Avengers Tower as well, so yeah. But the builds, you do get a stand for the big version, which is pretty neat. You don't get a stand for like the little version. The little version you can fit 1 figure, but in this big version, obviously because it's much bigger, you can fit a whole lot of figures, if you know what I mean. 2 in the Copic even, so yeah. Not necessarily a comparison. You might even fit the Hulk in here. I think I tried it before and you can somehow get the Hulk in here, which is pretty neat, but yeah. I don't know why people wanted me to do this. It's not even that interesting in comparison. I do prefer the bigger model over the small model. I think the small model is bad by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, you do get even another place for studs and stud shooters. Surprisingly, this set doesn't have, the big version doesn't have any play features at all, besides display ability and, I guess, brilliant imaginative play, but yeah, there really isn't really a whole lot to this compare, because it's kind of like apples and oranges, if you know what I mean. You also do get a separate sticker sheet if you want to make this the Avengers Quinjet. You can't really do this on the small ones. You stuck with the sealed stickers, unfortunately. You can't make this Avengers Quinjet, which I think would have been a little bit cool, but you can do it on the bigger one, but not on the small one. You can make this Avengers Quinjet or a Shield Quinjet, obviously, to be more accurate to the movie. Obviously, I went for accuracy, and that actually is easier comparison to make because these ones are pretty much the same equivalent of a Shield Quinjet, so yeah, definitely interesting little comparison to make, but yeah, the bigger one's obviously better by a long shot. Like, it's not even a comparison to make, but yeah, that's it for the Avengers Tower comparison. Honestly, I do think all these modular buildings stand out on their own pretty well and have their own strengths and weaknesses. Even the same thing to them, I know I've been kind of crapping on this set a lot lately, but it's not necessarily a bad set. It is the cheapest of the Lego modulars if you can't afford like the bigger Daily Bugle, more expensive Avengers Tower. The single thing to them is not bad, substitute. It does do its job of giving you a taste of the Marvel Universe in the modular form. I do like all these sets together. I do think they have their own strengths and weaknesses. If you're a fan of comic books, I believe the Daily Bugle is also another good buy. If you're a fan of the MCU and like the Avengers Tower is probably for you as well. So, yeah, it's going to be it for this serial comparison. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And until next time, it should Game of the Max.